DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJN TV, Disc Jockey News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by Electra Voice, DJ Event Planner, DJ Trivia, Odyssey Innovative Designs and Cases, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and the DJN TV Insiders. Good evening and welcome to tonight's show here on DJN TV. Tonight we are going to be looking at what's happening next week in Las Vegas with Mobile Beat, and we're going to talk about the whole convention thing. Eric Wilson's with me tonight. Good evening, Eric.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing?
They are out there coming into our chat rooms in their rooms right now. Facebook and YouTube, you guys are all out there. I'll drop the YouTube link in just a second so you guys can jump in with that one. Eric, the convention's just around the corner. This is to you and I both have been in this industry a long time. We've gone to a lot of trade shows, and there's just something about going to trade shows. It's kind of like it's that time that you just get there's this excitement, I guess.
Absolutely.
That a person just is like, and for people who've never been there, I probably don't understand it. But take us back. When was your first experience going to one of the DJ conventions?
Okay, so 2004 was my first show. The first one I attended, it was a big one. I went to LDI, and LDI at the time was humongous. It's still a real big show, but I went out there with this other lighting designer, another local lighting designer, and it was pretty overwhelming because at that point of the game, you know, we consider ourselves a medium-sized production company now. We were really small back then. You know, 16 years ago, we were pretty small, so it was pretty overwhelming. There have been so many changes to the lighting industry since that point, but it was a really an eye-opening experience. At that point, they had a huge audio section as well, and I still remember going out into the parking lot where, let's see, which show was it? Where they did the drone show this year? It might have been LDI this year, where they did the drone show in the parking lot. Anyways, in that parking lot, they had several full audio stages set up, full rigs, and you could walk up on the stage and you could walk up there and listen to the sound and see everybody mixing. So it was a huge experience. Opened up my eyes, got me, like you said, very, very excited. I'm a trade show junkie. Mm-hmm. I go to a lot of them. I like going. I've made some good friends, and it's been a huge curve upward in our abilities and also in our end result also. You know, as for making money in our production side of things have really trended upward since we've been going to these shows since, like I said, 2004 was the first one. Started really going in earnest, I guess. 2005 was my first Mobile Beat. So that was 15 years ago now. Man,
that's something.
It's really gone fast. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to go ban someone from a Facebook page here. So
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can keep going with the story, or
well, take us now. So you had your first experience, and that really kind of helped your production side. What types of things did you see, learn, what have you, that really kind of helped the production side of built that part of your business up?
So we really went into there wet behind the ears. I was just a two-person DJ system running out there. I was still working at a local college. I was teaching English composition at this college. And I just decided, hey, let's go out and let's take a look and see what else is out there. Mm-hmm. So that was my first kind of foray into going to these shows. There was a lot of education out there and a lot of very friendly people willing to share their knowledge with you. And that was something that really helped us quite a bit, that if I asked a question, they were certainly willing to help us out. And I've tried to carry that along into my aspect, my side of working the trade shows now as well. I've always wanted to try to help those fellow people out. Sharing knowledge is huge. Helping everybody do a better job. It makes us all look better.
So
makes the industry look better.
Typically, you were talking production, and of course, going to the shows, and I learned, and we grew. You're really focusing on the education side of it. Now, a lot of people, when they go to these shows, DJ Expo specifically in the DJ industry, it's all about the gear. But really, you're telling me, or I'm picking up that while you got to see a lot of gear, it was the education thing that really gave you the financial payback, for lack of a better way to describe it.
As I started thinking about our talk and our presentation, there are three sides of this. The education part, which we've touched upon. The gear part of it is huge to me as well. So for instance, anybody who follows us on our Facebook page, and I put these out there on the ADJ Facebook page as well. We are in Lake Placid, and I light up the top of the Olympic Arena. So this is my one example. I needed to go see the dispersion of how wide the angle of these lights would work. Mm-hmm. I needed to see the IP rated fixtures. There are a lot of different options out there. For me to get my hands on those and see how they work is key.
Sure.
I was one of the first people that bought the SX, the DDJ SX.
Okay.
I went to the show. It was a Mobile Beat show. Jay Brandon sat down with me, and he walked me through the entire unit. It was at that point that I came home, put my units, my CDJs in the closet, and bought the DDJ. And so getting my hands on it, seeing how to operate it, having the pros that have built it and worked on it lead me and guide me through it, the learning curve just decreased so much. Mm-hmm. So getting my hands on it, the gear part of it, that's another huge part of going to these shows. So,
continue there. You said there's a third leg to this stool. What's the third?
Yeah. So I remember it was one of the Mobile Beat shows when CO2 cannons first came out.
Oh yeah.
And I also, in the next year, Chauvet came out with the geysers. Each of those, I walked in the door, and of course you want to show off as soon as that mob of people walk in the door. I see them blasting off in the back of the room. Said to the guys, I go, that's where we're going. So for me to get out there and see those, the wow effect. So the third part of it is the whole networking part. So I saw you walking around the trade shows with your camera for years. I was like, man, I'd like to introduce myself to that guy. He seems like he could probably give me some knowledge, and then I would see Brian Red doing his YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. It's like, God, I'd love to, bang the head off of his a little bit and learn a little bit. So the networking is also that third part of it. And that goes along with the camaraderie and friendship that I've created with a lot of these folks in the industry. And it's, when I leave these places, I tell my wife, I work very hard. I work 60 hours a week, like everybody out there. Mm-hmm. Being self-employed, it's a tough battle sometimes. We make or break ourselves. I tend to work a little more than I probably should. When I leave, I may leave the house after coming off a 60-hour work week, after gigging the night before. Man, when I show up, a huge smile hits my face. I'm going to see all these people, like interest people with the same energy that I do. And it's just a good, a good feel that we all get from each other.
Right.
So that's very important to me. And that is part of the healing process of going through some of the lumps of being self-employed.
I would agree. Yeah. Because they're just being in that room with people who know what it's like to be self-employed and put in that 60 hours a week. And then at the end of the week, you're like, man, I've made one step forward and 3 steps back. It's been that type of week. And people who understand that is fabulous. Let's go back before 2004 when you were getting, kind of getting your business and you were kind of working on the production side a little bit. What was your circle of your networking circle, the circle of comrades, what have you, the connections you had within the entertainment industry? Compare that then to what it is today.
Wow. So we started with a pretty small circle. 2004, I went in, and I remember I went up to the ADJ guys, and they were just very kind to me. They're very accommodating. Edgar Bernal and Alfred Gonzalez, we just kind of hit it off. Mm-hmm. So I would start to bounce ideas off them. I went to ADJ had a showing of some new lighting in New York City, and I ended up meeting this guy, Jeff Kwan from Canal Sound and Light.
Yep.
And we kind of hit it off. So it started to grow just a little bit more. and a little bit more. And every time I met somebody in this circle and they could help me with my business, the business grew a little bit more. It advanced a little bit more. So now I'm adding different facets to the business itself. And I've got these great people out there I can bang ideas off and bang thoughts off. I can call these guys if I have an issue, if I'm troubleshooting something, they're there for me. So taking a step into something I might not be fully comfortable with, I know that I've got people who've got my back.
Right.
My DDJ SZ has 2 microphone inputs. One microphone input went out on me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something on the circuit board. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for, and this is just a few years ago, I went to, it was Infocom, looking for a 2-channel mixer. So I could put those 2 channels into my one input on the board. So I put this on Facebook. Guys, I'm looking for some ideas out there. Howie Darkstar bumps right up and he says, I've got this thing. I'll send it to you if you want. You can try it. So just getting to know these people, we've got each other's backs. Mm-hmm. And that would not have happened had I not been at these events.
Oh, certainly. That's in that circle as over time is it increases. I mean, I've got friends because of our conventions and such, Australia, New Zealand, UK, across Europe.
Right.
It's just amazing how much that reaches, and it grows as you're kind of alluding to. Each time you're at a different location. One time you might meet Howie in Atlantic City, and then we're out in Las Vegas, and we might meet Raymar as an example. Right. And there's just a lot of great people that we can connect with, and as you say, then that circle grows, and those are people that we can call on, ask questions of, and bounce ideas back and forth, which is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, so I just attended for the first 7 years. I just attended the conventions, and then after a while, I don't remember if it was Brian Dowdle, or somebody said, you come to a lot of these, don't you? I said, well, I'm a dealer of a lot of the products I use. And I'm not exactly sure who it was, but somebody said, you know quite a bit about this stuff. Why don't you work the shows? Mm-hmm. It might have been Gabby at Pro X. And I said, wow, I'd love to. So Jeff gave me that first opportunity, and that was 2012. Yes, my daughter was born 2011, so I had to skip that year. 2012, I came in and I worked for X-Laser. Okay. So we're in the DJ Expo, off in the back corner. Didn't see a lot of traffic, but man, those X-Laser lasers shooting over the top.
Yeah, those were pretty cool.
Yeah, that got a lot of excitement. And that was my first step. That got us, wet. The next year, Mobile Beat, I went with Jeff. Jeff kind of picked me up and, put his arm around me. He said, you're coming with me. We did Chauvet, and that was at Mobile Beat 2013. And then that next year, DJ Expo, we did ADJ together in an expo in Atlantic City. And I've been doing it with Jeff and ADJ since.
Sure.
That's kind of been the deal. Mm-hmm. At one point, Alfred said to me, the guy who was hosting the booth, he had to leave, and Alfred handed me the microphone. And this is a really cool moment in Good Guy Productions, Eric Wilson, the history of the story here. He said, how'd you like to do some talking in the booth? Now, for the previous 7 years, I've watched Sparky B hosting that booth.
Yeah,
and the guy's a character. Sparky's awesome. He's so much fun. I said, wow, I got some big shoes to fill here. So, and it's a crazy story. So this idea comes to me. We had some T-shirts, and they were just giving them away. I said, all right, I'm going to twist this a little bit. So I get on the mic, and I said, all right, we got the Focus Spot series, the brand new Focus Spot 1, 2, and 3. Ask me a question, and I will give you a T-shirt. The first 3 questions I couldn't answer. Like, man, what did I just do to myself? I look over and I kind of look out of the corner of my eye. Alfred's chuckling. And I said, oh my gosh, what did I do? So the next thing, 2 minutes later, I brought in, I think it was Edgar or somebody, one of the product specialists, and they helped me through that little transition. This little guy walks in and he's got his headphones on. And I think he was autistic. So he came in with his dad, and he has DJ Drew on his shirt. Mm-hmm. And so he comes in, and I get down on a knee. And I said, Drew, I'm going to make you an official ADJ DJ. So I put a shirt on over him, and I give him a pin. And I said, okay, now here's the best part. You get to pick out any light in this booth, and your dad has to pay for it. So the dad starts laughing and joking. Drew, he just has an absolute blast. We bring him over. He plays with the lights, and he just has this amazing time. I look over. His dad has tears in his eyes. He hands me his wallets and says, buy him anything he wants. And that was like a moment that I'll always remember. I see that little guy at every convention, every time we're down there. He comes to my booth, and we hang out for a few minutes, and he plays with the lights, and he's like my little bud.
Sure.
So that kind of saved me from my first miscue.
But those are the kind of fun memories that a person has. Where
Right.
something unexpected happens, and it's like that becomes just this special moment, and it can be from a variety of different places and things, but it's part of
Lots of memories, lots of great memories.
Yeah,
meeting Guy Fieri in the elevator. It's not really Guy Fieri, but he looks like him.
Mm-hmm.
So he always comes to me, and we hang out for a few minutes. And last year he came up, and I hope his wife's not listening, because he hit on a blackjack table, and he came up. He said, "I want 4 of the Focus Spot 3Zs." So I was, all right, here we go. So that was a relationship that fostered in the elevator just by us joking around, talking to each other. We became buds. And then when it was time for him to buy, he came to me.
Exactly. When he hit at the blackjack table.
Yeah.
We're not condoning the gambling and paying for your lights with winnings, but hey, if it works, we're not gonna turn it
Tell
down.
you what, I've had some great relationships built sitting around the tables and just having fun together. That the Circle Bar in Hard Rock, those are some great memories there.
Oh, for sure.
The Riviera in the what was the Queen's Lounge? Is that what it was called?
There was a British pub in there, and there was another
That British pub.
that was where
AJ Takeover. How much fun was that?
Yeah, the British pub is where we spent a lot of time and having whatever it was.
Yeah, that was
really horrible. There was an alcohol that they had was really horrible, and the guys from Promo Only, that was their thing, their signature drink. It was horrible.
Nick can get you in trouble.
Yeah, that was just it was not a nice, but yeah, it's neat memories from those years.
Absolutely.
So as people are getting ready to go to either Mobile Beat next week, some folks are going to be able to make it yet. We've got other shows coming up here this summer. There's a couple. Then we'll be an expo here. For someone who's never been there before, give them some words of advice as they're getting ready to go. What kind of things would you give them for that advice as they're getting prepared?
All right. So the first time that we went to the show, and that was back in not LDI, when I first went to DJ Expo in Atlantic City, I went there with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder because the way we do things, I'm pretty particular about things. We like to do things right. We do it to the best of our ability. We like to think we do it better than anybody else in our area.
Sure.
Of course. And if you don't feel that way, then you probably should get out of the business.
Exactly. You're
right?
not. Yep.
Go there with open eyes. Go there and talk to people. Go there and listen to people. See how they're doing things. Just drop all your attitude and just be ready to experience what other people are doing out there. Just because you're doing things and it's successful, there might be another way that's equally successful.
And I think that was probably one of the biggest early on revelations with myself is that, again, we thought we were the king of Churd Mountain up here because in the market, we were one of the best here. But you get to an event like that and you find out that you have skills, you have abilities, but so does everyone else in the room.
Right. And that was a big, big piece for me. When I got there, I said, wow, there are other people who do things right out there. There are those people that still unload all this stuff out of the back of their hatchback and they got a couple of speakers on sticks and, a bunch of music that they ripped off the internet. But there are a lot of people out there who do this right. And keep your eyes open and keep your ears open. Listen to those people, talk to those people.
Yeah, for sure.
There was one thing that we did one time. It wasn't at Mobile Beat or DJ Expo, but I went to NAB and I also went to Infocom because we do some video support as well. I was having trouble because at this point, this is 12 years ago maybe, I was having trouble with my HDMI. I didn't know that HDMI would only go 33 feet or whatever it is and then drop off. We went there. I brought 3 guys down. We spent 3 days walking that room until we found what's called the HD Base T system. And that solved my problem of running the video signal 150 feet, converting it Cat6, converting it back over to HDMI, and shooting the projectors on the other side of an auditorium for a graduation ceremony. So that one nugget, as we always talk about, bring home one piece. And if that can make your business easier, more profitable, then that's the value of everything you spent to go to that convention.
Very much so. Very much so. Again, in the chat room, Marcus was asking about the coronavirus and how it's affecting Mobile Beat next week. The show is as of 2 hours ago, and I don't think anything's changed, the show is still going. There have been some exhibitors and there have been some attendees who are not going to be going. Now, there's people out there who are going to say these people are being alarmist, extremists, what have you. But the reality of the situation is there's people out there like Eric and myself who are, if we're not making money, the house isn't making money. And one of the real possibilities is that it could happen. Now, not that it's likely, but it could happen that there's a quarantine thrown in place and flights are done. That has happened in different places. There's a lot of questions. No one has definitive answers. So for some, they've got a little more flexibility. I was talking to one guy here. He's like, I don't have any kids. I don't have any older people in my life. If I end up staying at home for 2 weeks, it's a vacation. They were going. Perfect.
Depending on the time of year, can you handle doing that?
Exactly. Yeah. I can't risk it with what I do for two reasons. One is that I have to be out doing my business. Yes, I could get sick here and catch something, and but that's a risk I'm going to have to take here. But I also have 90-year-old parents or step parents or in-laws, excuse me.
Yeah.
90 years old, and we have to go up there multiple times a week. And when you have situations like that, you've got to be thinking about that because you would not be the wanting to be the one who brings something back. So for most people, they're going to go. You guys are going to have a good time. It will be thinner. The airplane, you're going to probably get your own row. They're saying flights are about 40% capacity. They're flying most places right now. So it won't be the experience you had last year. Chris mentioned last year was a great year. It's not going to be that, and it's just partially because of the virus, and it's going to partially because as the last year, and you're getting ready to transition, things are going to be changing within that room because next year will be owned by the same group that owns Photo Booth Expo, and it will all be in February. So this is kind of the last little hurrah for that. And
yeah, it really stinks that this is happening because I think this is going to be a great year.
It could have been.
I mean, this has been a heck of a run, and just the transition, and I think it's going to be a good party. I don't know. I'm not afraid of it. We're going to, all things being equal, we're going to go on vacation in a couple of weeks. We're going to jump on a plane and head to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take the proper precautions. We're not going to wear masks. We're just going to be smart about it.
Yeah, exactly. And for most situations that we can protect ourselves by just being smart about it. It's those situations that are beyond our control. When you're on that cruise ship and you've been taking the precautions and all of a sudden they're locking the ship down. Or as one emergency preparedness person was on tonight talking about, she's like, I'm not going to fly because if I get to Minneapolis where there was an event going on, she said, if they all of a sudden lock us down to the hotel for some reason, I could be there for 2 weeks and I don't have that kind of time to do that. And so
2 weeks in Vegas would kill me.
It would. I was just thinking when she mentioned that, I was just envisioning it's like, okay, how many hotels in Vegas have I been in where I could live for over like 3 days before having to kill somebody?
Yeah, I don't know.
There haven't been many.
The Rio, maybe. The Rio's got big rooms and a great pool.
Yeah, next year, Marcus, it will be a completely different show. It's going to be it's going to be with Photo Booth Expo. So there's going to be the Photo Booth Expo room exhibit hall. There's going to be the DJ exhibit hall there. Totally, there's going to be hundreds of vendors involved with that part of it. Then we're going to have the seminar rooms. There will be the 1,000-person photo booth seminar room. There will be the 1,000-person DJ seminar room. It's moving into February. This year, March tickets to fly in were really cheap because of this virus thing. Typically, February is a much cheaper time to go to Vegas, but all things are off this year. So yes, next February, unless there's a virus that's chasing everybody around, I don't see it by that far out.
3 or 4 years ago, I got really sick there. I'm a hugger. I'm a handshaker. I like to, I'm friendly like that. This year would just be different. Don't do that kind of thing. Fist bump and, wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Be smart about it. And I don't know, you should be okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see, most people are going to go there and most all. There's not going to be a problem. It's just that one chance of a situation. And again, if a person can work remotely and do your things, it could be a 2-week vacation, as you were saying. That's certainly a possibility. It doesn't work for my situation, my family, and there's a few others that it doesn't work with, and I get that. I was talking to one gentleman earlier today who's who has his 85-year-old grandfather, or excuse me, father, who lives with him. And he said his father has been going through some cancer treatments, so he has a depleted
So that
immune
might
system.
not be the right scenario for him.
Exactly.
Right.
So that was it. And he was even hemming and hawing about that. And his dad is telling him, like, go, and your sister can come over and stay with me. And if something happens, she can stay with me for a couple of weeks. And he's like, yeah, but my sister, after about 2 days with dad, starts to want to kill him. It's like, oh, it's the family, like everyone else's family. After 3 days, we're on each other's nerves. So, but yeah, so everyone's got a different situation, and everyone's got to weigh it out and figure it out. But yes, you will see numbers down for this because of this, and that's just the unfortunate situation for this year's show.
Well, you know what? Then maybe there's a little more FaceTime with some of the vendors. There's a little bit better networking time with some people. I mean, look at it on the positive that way.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not as busy, I know that there was a time that I went to the Roland booth, and this was at the NAMM show. Man, the line was so long I couldn't even get in to try out their new piece that they had.
Oh, for sure.
3 or 4 years ago. Maybe it won't be the same this year. Maybe you get a little more attention.
Yeah.
Look at it on the positive spin.
And that's always one of the cool things about the smaller shows is you get time. Like last year was up in Allentown, and he could actually the Roland guy was there, and he could go through the full full demo. And typically, the only time I get a full demo is if I'm at NAMM and I'm there during a media time where no one else can come in.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only time I get that, and it was like, this is really cool because. First off, I didn't need to record. I wasn't recording, and I could actually ask questions and pay attention instead of focusing on having the camera angle right and making sure, okay, am I getting his audio? He's moving around an awful lot. How can I keep this microphone close enough?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a different look on things. Yeah.
So yeah, it's there's going to be, and there'll be the networking in the hallway. There are going to be people there you can talk to, and yes, we want people to go to seminars and be part of that experience. But some of the best ideas and some of the best experiences have been for those relationships we built in the hallway. So
on the boardwalk of Atlantic City, sitting on a bench, eating a slice of pizza, those are some good conversations.
Oh yeah,
reminding me myself of a time with Jay Brandon. We just sat in a pizza shop and talked.
Yeah,
and
those are absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I look so forward to going to these conventions. Like I said, I'm a convention junkie. I mean, starting at the beginning of the year, a lot of times I'll do NAMM. Mobile Beat, there's Infocom comes up, followed by DJ Expo. LDI is after that. What else have I been to? NAB is in April. That's unfortunately been canceled this year.
Yeah.
What else? The ADJA show with Drax was in September. That was always that show had some excellent educational content. That was, right there with all the education for Mobile Beat. So some shows are a little more heavy on certain things. Personally, I feel that the expo is more gear oriented, and Mobile Beat tends to have a little more educational content. But that's, the way I see it.
Certainly. That's kind of, I think, as those of us who've been there enough, it becomes pretty obvious that. Marcus, no, I will not be at Mobile Beat this year. Next year, obviously, because I'm the one putting the show together next year. I'll be there. But yeah, I won't be there this year. There's going to be the handoff with the owners and such, and I just didn't want to be in the spotlight, in which we made that decision, 2 months ago. So as this had come up, because then I would have to make that decision again if we were going to go because of this, and I would have decided not to go because of the situation with my in-laws. So, but yeah, I will not be there, Marcus. For those of you who are going, you'll have a good time for me, and we'll be getting some live feeds, hopefully, coming in a few times next week. So. Excellent.
Thanks for chiming in, Marcus. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And Daru, thanks for joining us there on Facebook. We got
Sandstorm. That's what I call him. My nickname for Darude is Sandstorm. Darude Sandstorm.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he is joining us there on. He did a shout out to you there, Eric. So, well, we're gonna wrap things up. We want to go about a half an hour tonight with that. So,
okay.
So yeah, it's kind of an exciting time, a little scary time right now, but keep in mind as this progresses, we get into summer. This should all settle down, and come out to DJ Expo is going to be our next really big show. And I think Eric's going to be there. I'm going to be there. There's going to be thousands of our closest personal friends are going to be there.
I'll be in the ADJ booth again. So come say hi. Any questions? Come with, there's something I didn't say. Come with a list of questions. I have a whole sheet of things that I'm looking for, my PEC sheet, my PEC list. Okay, I need to talk to so-and-so about this. I need to talk to so-and-so about that. Get those questions together. And again, come with an open mind and, absorb everything you can.
So one little tip that I do similar to what you were saying, my version of that sheet is actually I'm an Apple person. So there's the Notes program. And the Notes, once you set it up, it follows every device. So I go through and there's people I want to see, and I've talked to them on Facebook. Well, sometimes when you talk to them on Facebook and you're just seeing his little images, you kind of forget what they look like. So I've got it now where I go and I'll have the name, a little information, little bio, little notes on them, and then I take their picture and put it on there. So I can go through and say, oh yeah, there we go. Because it's like I was going to meet so-and-so at 10 o'clock, and yeah, that's what they look like. And then I can go, hey, how you doing there, Fred?
Yep, and we'll see you at 10.
Yeah, and Fred's like, oh, you remembered me. Yes, I did.
People get a kick out of it when they see you, and they're happy to see you. And after a couple of them, you do become friends. Yeah. One thing that I was really surprised at, and I think it was Nick Hahn who gave me this advice. He said, we are in a little umbrella. He said, we're really one small family. And going from show to show to show, you will start to learn these people. You'll start to learn about, their families and Ricky Vasquez. I know what his daughters are up to. It's fun to see their families, and just gives you something to talk about aside from just shop. And that part of that whole relationship you make with these people, it becomes a personal relationship as well as business relationship. And that's one thing that Jeff Kwan said to me years ago. We were walking out of an event, an ADJ event one night, and he put his arm around me. And I said, Jeff, I look forward to a great business relationship. He said, I'm looking forward more to the personal relationship we're going to have. So now, we room together at NAM this year. We've been buds for several years, and
nice.
Yeah. Yep. I've made some great friends in the industry, and I consider myself extremely fortunate to have what I have.
Yeah. I think there's many of us who echo that exact statement. So Eric, thank you much for being on tonight and sharing some thoughts and stories about past experiences. And for those of you, if you have any questions or anything, you can reach out to Eric or myself. And if there's questions about shows or things that are going on, or you want to meet up at an upcoming show, we'd love to be able to shake your hand and meet after the virus is over. We'd love to shake your hand. Otherwise, it's
with some hand sanitizer,
fist bump, elbow bump, foot, whatever
whatever that new thing is, a foot shake.
Yeah, whatever the kids are doing these days.
Yep.
All right, you guys have yourself a great evening. We'll be back.
Thanks again, everybody.
In about a half hour. Dave and Jer will be back with Wedding Chat at the top of the hour. Thanks much.
Okay.